quickly address that. As you might recall, and how could you forget last month when Zev spoke about the state passing, or the state legislature passing 4 or 5 years ago, Senate Bill 1818, which basically overrides all existing land use protections to enable developers to build affordable housing units. So basically it means, like in the case of the specific plan, if a developer wants to build in an area where there's a 2-story height restriction, if he agrees to provide the minimum affordable units, and I believe it's 5, and he has also an option of choices, if he fulfills those, then he is given variances from the height, so we could end up with 3, maybe even 4-story buildings on Ventura Boulevard that currently have been protected since the 90s for 1 and 2 stories. And the mass of the building can be larger and less parking required. Hard to believe, isn't it? So the implementation ordinance was being lobbied very strongly by Zev. He spoke about this, trying to get the city council to understand what the consequences mean to the residential quality of life. And last I heard, it was passed today by city council. If you'll notice, it did not go through the neighborhood councils. So much for people power. It was not really vetted through homeowner associations. It was pushed very quickly when you consider how long it does take for other actions to take place in the city. It was pushed through relatively quickly. So what this means is, as it stands, everybody is very worried about all of the protections we've enjoyed these many years. And less parking for new developments. Think about the problems we're having now. Taller buildings. Does it affect and overshadow single-family residents? Because if there's a property that's zoned multiple zoning in your neighborhood, that is now suspect for development. Is that a bad thing or a good thing? You have to look at a bigger picture. The city is changing, the housing stock is outdated, and it is widely considered to be a very pro-development group of politicians running our city currently. There's trends. 20 years ago, we had Zev, and things were controlled. But now, because of the perceived needs, whether it be economic or population growth, they want more housing stock. People cannot afford, as we all know, to buy a single-family home. So the solution that's coming forth, build on the major corridors where there's public transit. So if you live 1,500 feet from a bus stop, you could very well be subject to having one of these newer kind of buildings in your neighborhood. It might be bus stop, it might be the red metro buses, not too sure on that. Anyway, that's Senate Bill 1818, so see me after the meeting if you want to discuss your panic attack with me.